are we talking about today? Come on, y'all. Let's discuss. Let's see what we got today. Did y'all see the Shannon Sharpe ex, the girl Melanie Bundy, sent she did an interview? She did an interview on, I forgot what news outlet that it was on. But she did an interview, and of course it's, a white woman because it's Shannon Sharpe. What else would it be? Okay. So she did an interview and she talked about her lawsuit with Shannon Sharpe because she started a lawsuit first. She started hers in 2023, but her lawsuit was about she alleging he R-worded her back in maybe like 10 years ago. That she said that her and Shannon Sharpe was dating at the time, was messing around, I should say. Now, let me bring it back a little bit. So when this lawsuit came out, it came out publicly. People started talking about this lawsuit, not when she filed it in 2023, but when this current lawsuit with the 19-year-old came out, then people looked up and, was trying to look up this lawsuit and be like, wait a minute, he already got a lawsuit. Now, when they looked into that lawsuit, and I did a interview on it, the lawsuit, people was pretty much reporting as if that this lady was batshit crazy. Now, I read the news article that it was somebody who knows her who says that she was obsessed with Shannon, that she had left her husband in order to thinking that she's going to be in a relationship with Shannon, and then she also tried to unalive her husband and went to jail for it because thinking for a relationship with Shannon. Now, this is what I read in this article, so I reported on it that way. Now, according to her, like, that's not what happened. Her and Shannon was together. They was messing around. She also was dating at that same time. She was dating her husband. She said her and Shannon got into it because Shannon was out there, what you call it, spreading it low, busting it low and spreading it wide. Yeah, Shannon was out there swinging that thing. And she found out and she get mad at him. And so she confront him about it. And when she confront him about it, this is when the R word happened.
What led up to that fight, that 2010 fight that you guys, I know that the argument ensued first before he alleged.
The argument was about the fact that he had removed one girl from his house and put another girl in his house and didn't tell me. And he had asked me to break up with my husband at the time. We were just dating. So I was dating Shannon and my husband at the same time. Shannon asked me to break up with my husband. And I don't recall for sure, but I think I did. And so, it's like, wait a minute, you want me to be with just you, but you want to move somebody into your house and not even tell me? So that's what it stemmed from. He's not a faithful person, so I wasn't going to be faithful to a non-faithful person. It just doesn't work that way. Not for me anyway.
Now, if you're paying attention, this sounds kind of similar. This sounds awfully similar to what the 19-year-old said, that the first R word they was messing around for almost 2 years. The first R word happened after this Instagram live. Michele. The first R word happened then. Not laughing at the R word, I'm laughing at the Michele. That she gets into it with Shannon and stop talking to Shannon about that because she thinking this is the 19-year-old that they in a whole relationship, and Shannon is out here. He said this is community D, baby. This is for everybody. I don't discriminate. I regulate every shade of pale of that ass. And he don't regulate every shade. He just regulate certain shades. But she stopped talking to him about the Instagram live, and then when he came over, he R-worded her. Now this lady said 10 years ago she found out that he's messing around with other people, and so she decided, she confront him about it, and he made her get him fellatio, and then after that it was vaginal. And she said she didn't talk to him no more after that. That she didn't go back. The 19-year-old went back like a couple of months, October, November, December, January, 3 months later. This happened in October for the 19-year-old, October 2024, and then it happened again in January 2025. Now, the ex Michele, I think her name is Michele Bundy. I know it's Bundy. It's like Bundy or Evans Bundy or something like that. So, or Bundy Evans, something like that. So she said that's what happened. That Shannon was controlling it, but Shannon was out there doing his thing, throwing that thing, but didn't want them to do it. Didn't want her to do it, and that's how she alleging that it happened. She said then she said Shannon had pursued her the initial way they started talking. The 19-year-old, remember, they started talking because Shannon was like creeping on her at the gym, like being like, looking from the corner or something while she working out. That ain't what that lady said. She said he was creepy old black man looking at her, looking at this little 19-year-old. She didn't know who he was, so she didn't give him no play. Now, the previous lady, she said the way their relationship started is that Shannon tried to talk to her, but she didn't talk to Shannon because she was like in the industry, like not in the sports industry on the film side. So she said once she filed this lawsuit against him, boy got the restraining order, and she dropped the restraining order because she was getting threats. Now, it was reported that she got this restraining order, she crazy, and the restraining order was dropped. And when they said it was dropped, you would think it was dropped because of no evidence, blah, blah, blah. She said, no, the restraining order was dropped because at that time she had kids and Shannon doxed her. If you correlate the two, the 19-year-old filed this lawsuit and filed it without her name. Shannon came and he didn't dox her as far as giving out her address. He doxed her by putting her real name and her OnlyFans name out there when he made his video that said she was lying. So this one, the previous one, that this happened over 10 years ago, she said what happens once she filed that restraining order, that he ended up doxing her. And so then she had kids, and people started like showing up to her house and like was streaming stuff at her house, and her kids was at the house. And one time, I believe she said her kids was home alone and people were showing up. So she dropped it because she got scared.
Came to my house and sat out front of in the driveway while my daughter was there alone. Someone came to my house, someone came to my apartment, and after my daughter called me, that's when I went straight there.
So after you rescinded the restraining order, was there any other weird stuff, or did it kind of just die down?
It died down.
So she continued on with her life, dropped the stuff. She's working, if I'm not mistaken, she said CNN. She was the person who would take the video clips that CNN would put out a video. Her job was to take the video, make them into clips and drop them on YouTube for CNN. So she said she's doing her job, going through the videos of CNN, end up coming across the Shannon Sharpe interview, and him over there talking about domestic violence, and she's saying after he's an abuser himself. But she's watching this video of him talking about domestic violence, and the interviewer says, okay, I heard you just had a case or something like that. Yeah, it was dropped, but just blew it off as if she's a nobody, obsessed, stalking fan. And she had to sit there and clip that and put it together and put it out because that was her job, and she didn't want to get fired. So,
but then he started going on television. He came to my job, Turner Broadcasting, went on TV at CNN, and it was my job to put the videos from up to YouTube for CNN. That was part of my job. So I'm putting up this video, and here I see Shannon at my job talking about domestic violence, and the co-host mentioned that, oh, you had one that was just totally dropped, made it look like the police dropped it, not that I had gone down and withdrawn it. It created a picture that wasn't accurate, and that was a very hostile work environment.
I'm going to ask something that might be a little like sensitive and or might sound insensitive, I should say. But I'm going to go ahead and ask it because it's a question that I'm sure people are wondering. Why didn't you file a police report when he raped you?
Because I was scared for my life. He said he would use it. Everybody he knows, and he knows lots of police officers. So I didn't know that if I went down there, that would be one of the people that he knows. You know, Atlanta has a problem with corruption down there. And I was too scared to go to the police.
Yeah, that's the most recent one with what's going on with Shannon Sharpe.
The night page, yeah. Soft.